the threat to this country from British militants trained there. They are members of Somalia's militant Islamic group Al-Shabaab. It's allied to Al-Qaeda and controls much of the south of the country. Our Africa correspondent Rohit Khatri sent this report from neighbouring Kenya, and it does end with some distressing images.
Within the first few moments of this Al-Shabaab video, it's clear who the intended audience is. Every word of the call to arms, unearthed by ITV News, is translated into English. Then, amongst the celebration of warfare and sacrifice, a British fighter.
Before some of us came here, we were living in a society where the people were enslaved by their desires. A place where people were made busy with worldly affairs and hardly anyone took time of thinking of the hereafter.
He speaks with a London accent as he sits on a Somali shore. And according to one estimate, there are as many as 50 other Britons fighting for Al-Shabaab. 2 suicide vests seized in Mogadishu last weekend, the yellow wire still visible. They belong to an insurgent fighter who's detained but defiant. He tells us how he fought alongside British fighters. He says that Al-Shabaab wants to attack the UK. Late at night, we're taken to meet an escaped fighter who's now in hiding. He says that by the time he left Al-Shabaab last year, he'd met around half a dozen British fighters. All were kept from the Somalis and trained in high explosives. Tomorrow, the world will meet to discuss Somalia's many problems. How to bolster the troops fighting Al-Shabaab, how to help the innocent and the desperate, like this new exodus of families trapped by 3 days of fighting last week. They took their chances to escape to Mogadishu to find the aftermath of the latest car bomb attack there. But the city's mayor wants the UK to investigate the young men he sees coming from Britain into his city to carry out terrorism.
Boys that fail in schools in Great Britain, or left schools without any qualification, or went to a prison in Great Britain, they think the society failed them. So they hate the society.
And as if anyone needed, we found proof of the pure evil dealt out in those Shabaab-controlled areas when we traced 2 young boys who escaped it to neighbouring Kenya today. One, aged 19, was accused of theft, then had his hand and foot cut off in a public ceremony. Another, said to be a suspected spy, had his tongue sliced away. Both now lead dreadful lives, but they're free of the evil and anarchy, and they want the world to help to end it for those they left behind.
Well, live now to Rohit, who joins us from Kenya. Rohit, how much impact do you think tomorrow's conference here in London will have upon those events you've just described?
Well, unlikely that the world leaders will walk into the room and do precisely what they failed to do for the last 20 years and solve some of Somalia's big problems. But the difference now is that momentum seems to be on their side. Just today, Al-Shabaab lost one of its biggest strategic bases, a huge win for the African Union forces, and well-timed as well. And today, the United Nations authorised many more African Union troops to go into Somalia. But you see the theme, as much as David Cameron tries to own this issue, it is the AU forces who are leading this charge, and the Somali government as well, which lacks credibility. However, with the Foreign Office tonight acknowledging the existence of Britons in Al-Shabaab, evidence of Britain's fighting in Al-Shabaab, it does certainly seem that there is a consensus that something really has to be done.
Rohit, thank you.